All right, so that Thursday conversation with my boss. So how did that go? It was nerve-wracking leading up to it. I mean, all the scenarios I had played out in my head as to how it could potentially go had really worked me up into a bit of a slightly nervous wreck. Right? I couldn't eat that morning. I could barely drink anything that morning because I was just so nervous. And sitting there in his conference room, or in his office, I should say, at the conference table, just trying to figure out how do I even broach the subject, how do I bring it up, was really oh my God, excruciating for me. But I did finally have the conversation with him, and I was just as upfront as I could be. There were some tears, I'm not gonna lie, there were some tears there. But I basically just shared with Terry that I had been doing a lot of thinking. He knew I had gone through a health scare a few months before, and I told him I didn't want to be in my deathbed in the future and wonder what if, right? What could have happened if I would have tried to pursue my dreams, and I just didn't want to take that risk that I would never ever pursue what I was passionate of, whether it worked or whether it didn't work in the future, but at least I could say I gave it a try. And he was so supportive, I have to say. He was giving me advice. He was making sure that I had thought about different things that I needed to take into consideration before I walked away. He was surprised, right? It caught him. He didn't expect that. But he was so supportive, which I was, again, really appreciative of. Interestingly enough, he came back a week later after thinking about things, and he said, I wonder if there's an opportunity here to have a win-win between the organization and yourself. Whether that's a win-win because we know we need coaching services within the organization, so maybe you staying on board, doing something internally, or whether it's a win-win, us leveraging you as a preferred vendor. So stay tuned for the next video where I'll continue to share my story. But what's the moral of this story is that sometimes in life you got to take risks, and sometimes you work things up in your head a lot worse than what they really turn out to be. And sometimes we worry about things that could happen, and those things never really do happen. So we work ourselves up into this like ball of nerves and get ourselves all worked up over something that never actually takes place. So on that, I'm wondering if there is a way that instead of us considering all the potential ways that things can go wrong in the future based off of our actions or lack thereof, maybe there's a way for us to reprogram ourselves to think about how much things can go well based off of our actions or lack thereof. Just a thought. Talk to you soon.